When real devotion comes up, all our desires, they gradually fade, because I come to know that to whom I have come or whom I am worshipping, that is my beloved, he is the most precious of all in this entire cosmos. So I have nothing to ask. If I get him, I've got everything. I don't feel like thinking what I have got or what I have achieved or what I have not achieved. That even doesn't come into my mind. That is devotion. That there will be no business in your mind. No business. I love you because I love loving you. I cannot help but love you. In Bhakti Yoga, we know that it is the path where the aspirant loves the deity or the personal God, knowing the personal God to be the Almighty, knowing the personal God to be the omnipotent, omnipresent, and knowing the Almighty, knowing the personal God to be his master, and he or she considers herself or himself as the servant of the master. And what is the work of the devotee in case of Bhakti Yoga? The main thing is devotion, love. Love for the personal God, whom he wishes to see, whom he wishes to taste. It's like tasting. There is a very beautiful difference which has been said by giving an example, that what is the difference between Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, the path of devotion and the path of knowledge. In the path of devotion, the devotee says that I don't want to become the sweet. I want to taste the sweet. I want a difference. I want a difference from the sweet and I want to taste it. I want to cherish it. But in the path of knowledge, in the Jnana Yoga, the aspirant says that no, I want to become the sweet. There will be no difference between me and my ideal. I will become. And that is the basic difference between the path of devotion, that is Bhakti Yoga, and the path of knowledge, that is Jnana Yoga. However, when the devotee following the path of devotion reaches the top, the crest of devotion, then he realizes, or then he reaches that ultimate, that Advaita, that monoism, where he doesn't find any difference between himself and his personal God. That he transcends, though it's his intense love to cherish his ideal, to cherish his personal God, but as he goes on developing, this gap goes on minimizing, and a time comes when he sees or feels his God in everything, in every being, in each and every particle of the universe. That means he has reached to the Advaita, he has reached to the point of non-dualism. There, a devotee, that is the ultimate or the extreme devotee and the ultimate knowledge or the ultimate jnani, it is said the ultimate bhakta and the ultimate jnani, they are one. They become one because the ultimate devotee, what does he see? He sees Krishna, or he sees Ram, or he sees Christ, or whatever, whomever he worships, he sees his deity, his ideal in each and every particle of this universe. And what does a ultimate jnani or an extreme jnani sees or realizes? He realizes the consciousness in each and every particle of the universe. So it is basically the same thing. The jnani sees or feels the consciousness, sarvam khalvidam brahma. That means everything, whatever I see, whatever I feel, whatever I do, whatever is there in this entire universe, this is Brahman. And what does the extreme devotee, a devotee who has reached the crest of devotion, what does he feel or he see? He sees his God, his Lord, his beloved in each and every particle of this universe. So that is also reaching Advaita, where he doesn't see any second thing or second entity other than his or her beloved. So there they mingle. The extreme jnani and the extreme devotee, they mingle in the ultimate stage. And it is said that whatever path you may follow, it may be the path of knowledge, it may be the path of action, karma yoga, it may be the path of psychic control, that is the Raj Yoga, or it may be the path of devotion, that is Bhakti Yoga. Ultimately, following different paths, you reach the same goal. Like, rivers having their source at different places, in different mountains, flowing through different places, flowing through different territories, they ultimately mingle in the sea or in the ocean. Similarly, I may adopt the path of devotion or the path of action or the path of knowledge or the path of psychic control, that is Raj Yoga. Ultimately, all they mingle at the same place. When I reach to the crest of my path, I will see there is unity, there is one. Because until and unless we reach that one, we have to proceed, we have to develop, we have to go on. But once we reach the unity, there is no further going. You cannot proceed any further when you reach the unity or oneness. So this path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga, it's a very beautiful path. It's a very beautiful path. However, and it's mostly followed, this path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga, is followed by most of the people. But Bhakti or devotion is really hard. It is easy to say that, oh, I am a devotee of such and such, I am a devotee of Bhagwan, I am a devotee of him or her. But devotee is a very serious word. Devotee is a very serious word. Why? Because for a devotee, he cannot think anything except his beloved. There is no second subject than his beloved. And he doesn't have any desire even to ask to his beloved. Like, if a boy meets a girl or the boy meets his girlfriend after a long time, he cannot ask for anything. He will be just gazing at her, like lost in her. Similarly, the devotee, when he sits in front of his God, in whatever form he may worship, he or she may worship, he forgets the world. He forgets what to ask, what to say. All he has in his mind is his beloved. So there is no question of asking anything. There is no question of getting anything. Nothing. But we who claim ourselves to be, devotees, we go to the temple or mosque or church or whatever we may believe, whatever faith we may follow. We go there and we ask so many things. Okay, coming to Vedanta Society or coming to Bhagwan, these things have diminished, or We have been taught not to pray anything to the Lord, not to ask anything from the Lord or from God, but to ask for devotion, but to ask for knowledge, but to ask for the realization of the self or God realization. And that doesn't come under any desire. But most of the people, what we do is that we go to the church or temple or mosque and we begin to ask, and then we say we are great devotees. The first thing a devotee does not do is he does not disturb he never disturbs his Lord with any desire or any wish whatsoever. His only wish is that, O Lord, may that happen what you wish. That's it. May that happen what you desire, what you wish. Let my desire not come in between you and me. Not the slightest of the desire come in between you and me. It will be just you and me. That's it. Nothing else. So, in one sense, it is very hard to be a devotee, because when we know with all our belief and all our faith and everything that, okay, to whom I have come, he is God, and he is omnipotent, he is omnipresent, he can give me anything. So I will ask something, something or the other. It comes out spontaneously. Because right from our childhood we have been taught to do this. Ask from someone who is more powerful than you. Have a good friendship with him or her. And why? Not because of friendship, but to gain something. So we even befriend or we try to love God with this thing in mind that I have to get something from God. I have to get something from Him. But it may be the starting, but if we intensely or if we sincerely and dedicatedly, if we go on in the path of devotion, then what happens is that gradually all our desires for the world or our material desire or our material wishes or our worldly wishes, they diminish gradually. Because why? Because I come to know that God is more beautiful, and in fact is the most beautiful and the most precious thing in this entire cosmos. He is invaluable. So when I have got Him, I don't have anything more to ask. Like now it's night in India, So there are many stars in the sky, the moon shining brightly. But with the rising of the sun, everything will become so. This sun, this moon, these stars, you cannot find them anymore. But that doesn't mean they are not there. They are there in the sky, but I cannot see because of the tremendous light of the sun. Similarly, our worldly desires and our worldly wishes, they get faded due to the tremendous power, the tremendous love for God, the tremendous love for the Supreme. And for that, the Guru is needed, who will gradually train my mind in the correct way to love God. There's a very beautiful story, that because as I said that we always, right from our childhood, we are being learned or we are being taught a barter system. That this world is it is a give and take policy, and if there is any child, there are many, in some families there are some child who are a sort of unselfish, if not totally but to a great extent. They will love giving away, they will love doing charity, and not thinking of them, and they will be scolded, they will be scorned, they will be rebuked by their parents or their relatives. Oh, you are a dumb, you are a fool, that you are giving away everything. You have to think of yourself. Okay, do for others, but in return also you have to think of something. So these are the things we are taught right from our childhood, to be selfish, to think of a barter system, to think of a business. So when we go to God, we have this thing in our mind, because there has been these impressions right from the childhood, that you have to ask. Okay, you go to someone, but you have to bring out some work from them, or from him, for her. So with God, that is no exception. On the contrary, it's much more big. My expectations are much more bigger, because God, omnipotent, who can do anything, who can do everything. But as I said, when real devotion comes up, all our desires, they gradually fade, because I come to know that to whom I have come, or whom I am worshipping, that is my beloved, he is the most precious of all in this entire cosmos. So I have nothing to ask. If I get him, I've got everything. I don't feel like thinking what I have got, or what I have achieved, or what I have not achieved. That even doesn't come into my mind. That is devotion. That there will be no business in your mind. No business. I love you because I love loving you. I cannot help but love you. So that is devotion. That is bhakti. That is bhakti. You don't ask for anything. You forget the whole world once you see the Lord. So this path of devotion, it's very beautiful, very, it's a precious thing. But at the same time, it's also hard. Because, as I said, our desires, they come. And that is why we need a guru who will catch hold of my hand and who will gradually introduce me with real devotion, with real love. We hear this word love everywhere, it's everywhere in the air, I love you, this love, that love. But this love which we see or hear everywhere around us, this is but it's a lower manifestation of that pure love. It comes out of that love only, of that divine love. But it's a lower expression. It's a grosser manifestation of that divine love. But it is the same divine love, just expressed in another way. The Guru catches hold of our hand and he gradually teaches us the real meaning of love, the real meaning of devotion, where love and devotion does not have anything to do with any business, just love. What will I get loving you? Then it's not love, it's business. It's a trade. And with God, with bhakti, with devotion, there is no trade, no business. Absolutely no business. Not the slightest of business is there. Not a stain. So, but we have these desires within us, you see. This world is so real, and my sufferings, my sorrows, I don't have this, I don't have that. And with all these things, we go to Bhagwan, or we approach Lord, or we go to the church or the mosque or the temples, that I will be relieved of all my sufferings, of all my griefs and all my every negative things, Else what is the use of going to the temple or going to the mosque or going to the church or going to Gurudwara or going to any place of worship? What is the meaning if I am not benefited? Because there is benefit, but the benefit does not stand in this category. It does not fit in this category, because my benefit now is what? Gaining worldly things. That is my view of benefit. That's what I understand by profit or benefit. But the master, the guru, he teaches me the real meaning of benefit, the real meaning of love, the real meaning of devotion. And when I come to know, when I'm introduced with a greater, or a higher expression of love and devotion, when I'm introduced with this subtler and sublime and higher expression of love and devotion, then all my desires which were in the past, they get faded away. Like the stars and the moon, which gets faded away when the sun rises. There is a very beautiful story, that once there was a poor man and he was searching for work and doing this or that for his livelihood. He was not having anything permanent, so somehow he was dragging on with his life. So he wanted to become rich like everyone. Everyone has this, there is no line that, okay, after this I become rich. Each and every one of us have our own perspective or our own definition of becoming rich. Okay, someone thinks that to be educated in the right way is becoming rich. Someone thinks that if I know some good art or music, I'm rich. Someone thinks if I can love God in the real way, I'm rich. Someone thinks it in the terms of money, someone in terms of fame, name. There are various definitions of becoming rich, not just the money. The money is the first thing which comes to our mind, because as money is what comes to our mind is in direct proportion with getting rich. More money, more rich. Not necessarily. Anyway, so that person, that poor person, he was trying to get rich, trying to make some money, and he was just loitering here and there, searching for work. Suddenly, all of a sudden, he came across a diamond, a beautiful piece. It was just, dazzling with the sun rays falling on it. And he was mad in joy, like someone really longing for something intensely and suddenly getting it out of the blue, So he took the diamond and he ran to a jewelry shop. So he went to a jewelry shop. So he took the jewel and gave it to the owner and said that, see, I have got a diamond and I'm in dire necessity of money. You please give me money. I don't have food, I don't have a house to live in. So with this I can do all things. Please take it and give me the amount, equivalent amount. The goldsmith, he just took it and he saw it and he didn't say anything. He said, okay, it's really very costly, but right now I don't have enough money to buy this. So I do one thing, I am keeping it in my safe box. So, and you are telling that you don't have money, you don't have a place to live, you don't have enough money to have good food. So I am giving you work in my this place. You assist the other goldsmiths who are working, the workers, and you will be given food and also your salary. And this is your diamond which I am keeping here. When I have enough money to buy it, I will be buying it and giving you the equivalent amount. So this person was very happy because he will be getting the price of the diamond, moreover a salary and then food and everything. So he was very happy. And gradually, from that day, he began to assist the other goldsmith who were working in his shop. So every day he was using gold, silver, diamonds, other gems, valuable gems, and he was seeing every day, and he was handling those things, assisting the other goldsmith to put in the right place, make the decorations and everything. And at times he used to say to the shopkeeper that, do I have the diamond safe? He said, yes, it's safely kept, So it was about a month, and then he was about to have his salary. And all these 30 days he worked with tremendous, with concentration and tremendous, sincerely he worked, tremendously sincerely. So, and he came to know quite a bit about gems and these stones and jewels and everything. So, while giving the salary, the owner of the shop took out the diamond, took out the piece and gave it, put it on his hand and said, this is your diamond which you brought. Then he saw it and he said, this is not diamond, this is glass. It's a glass finely cut, it's not diamond. He said, yes. Had he told it on the very first day, that man would have died at that very instant, The jeweler, he knew that it is not a diamond, it's a good piece of glass. That is why he gave him the work to work with him, to assist him and his fellow men, to get acquainted with the real diamond. And then after working with real diamond and real valuable things, when he got his own diamond, which he thought was diamond, but which was actually not, when he saw it, he said, oh, it's not diamond, it's glass. Similarly, the guru, the master, the teacher, the preceptor, when we go to him with our diamond, that I want this, I don't have this, these are my problems. We go to the Guru. We wish to tell everything, and if I cannot tell everything to the Guru, I think, oh, what is the use? I could not tell, I could not make him understand actually what are my problems. What the Guru does is that he says, okay, I know you have many problems. Yes, they are very genuine, they are very correct. Now you hear this, you hear about Vedanta, you hear what real devotion is, you hear what real religion is, you hear what real love is. Now Vedanta does not necessarily mean Advaita Vedanta. There is also the Dvaita, that is the dualism of Vedanta, where there is this devotion. It is also in Vedanta. It's a part and parcel, it's a step of Vedanta. So he goes on explaining to him and telling to him the real meaning of religion, the real meaning of love, the real meaning of devotion. He goes on explaining what is the real desire, what one must really desire in his life. And then when he gradually gets acquainted with these greater ideas, these greater thoughts, these magnanimous things, that all other thoughts and desires, they get faded away. And after a time, when we think, retrospecting that, oh, I came with this thought, then that thought which was so important to me, I feel like that piece of glass. But I thought that to be diamond. But when I hear from Guru, when I begin loving him, when I begin to love God, when I begin to develop that real devotion, that real love in me, which knows no limitations, no conditions, that I get the real gem. I come face to face with the treasure. And then that which I felt was very big thing to me, that gets faded away. And that is why after some time when we go to Bhagavan, after some time, the worldly things which really disturbed us or mattered, it was a great matter for me, great problem for me, I cannot find them. It's not that they are not there, they are there, but they are being overpowered. They are being, they got faded away by the dazzling brightness of love, devotion.